It's nice. Yeah. Then it's funny because you got
to wear headphones.
Yeah. You don't have to though.
No,
It makes me feel like a lot more tapped in.
Yeah, it feels fancy.
Definitely more dialed with the headphones on. Sheesh. Anytime we don't pod for like a week and a half, I feel like I have to get back into the whole thing.
Well, I can't wait to go to sleep.
I'm
How do
so
you
pissed
feel?
I have to get on a flight tomorrow. Jesus. 5 hours?
Yeah.
4 hours? We get back at we're going to get back to our place at like midnight probably.
Yeah.
You're probably sleeping tomorrow, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
If I can.
I'm the asshole that booked Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, we have like an hour and a half.
Yeah, remember when we left?
Yeah, that was fucking tough.
Dude. I'm not looking forward to it at all.
That was
And
tough.
we went to Miami. We drove to
Yeah.
Miami that morning. We left at like 4 a.m. me
Oh,
and
that's
him.
right.
It was bad.
2 hour
that 2
drive
hour? Yeah.
just to make it to the airport. It was horrible.
Oh, because you had the Urus too, right?
I had to drop it off and then
Yeah.
never again. Next time I'll just fly straight into like y'all's place
Just take one of Dom's cars.
or that. Yeah.
We're rolling? All right. So this one we have to do a proper introduction because I always get like shit about it. So welcome back, guys. What episode is it? 16? Sheesh. So welcome back to Inaka Power Radio, episode 16. And today we have two of like the greatest guys I know, Chris, Matty, and we're just going to chat it up with them and talk about how they came to be about and fitness and all types of things. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Now we can begin. That was like a nice introduction because I feel like this is going to be the most watched video, so I had to just pre-surface the
I feel
vibe.
like you were overthinking that.
I was.
Yeah, you went deep into that one.
I
for
was.
sure.
Yeah, I've never given an introduction like that.
Well, people always get mad because we don't.
We just hop straight into it.
Like, I mean, everyone knows who you are, but sometimes like we'll have people on the couch that no one knows, and they'll be like, "Okay, well, I just watched this whole episode. I have no idea who the fuck this is because we didn't introduce them."
Do you guys always have guests?
Yeah,
Yeah, usually every
Yeah.
episode.
like unless we really just want to put out an episode, it'll be us two. But for the most part, we have guests.
At the very least, like we'll have Marco, and it's
Yeah.
all like we
Always
just
entertaining.
we just let him take the
Yeah.
whole show. We just chill in the background, says
Yeah.
the wildest shit, and it's a good episode.
He actually
Good
has a
clickbait.
good voice for a podcast.
Who, Marco?
Marco.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
When he's like calm, it's like it's always good. Because honestly, when Marco's calm, it's like, damn, he be on some like serious shit.
When he's on a podcast, he's
Yeah,
like more mature.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, we had him on ours too, and he was going off about shit. I was like, wow, you actually
Yeah.
are intelligent.
Yeah,
I don't want
exactly.
people to know it.
Exactly.
For real.
When he's on a podcast, he's a different Marco, but when he's like just out in the open, he's a
He's
crazy,
Marco Pro.
crazy young fella.
but yeah, how was yesterday? I guess we can start from yesterday and then just go from there.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was crazy. So obviously the reason we're down here is for that event. We were kind of collabing on down here at Alpha Land, and it was it was crazy. It was
Yeah.
the first event we'd ever done, and there's no easing into things for us at this point. It's like, all right, first time, like thousands of people showing up, just like
Yeah.
crazy. So we had to be prepared for it, but we did a good job. Matty kind of planned a lot of the behind the scenes of all that, getting us together, planned all the shit. So we were like on it. And I had been through a lot of events like this for Gymshark and shit, so I kind of knew a good feel and how we could run shit. And I was throwing up my ideas, and he was executing, so I didn't have to do anything. But it was good. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I'm still kind of brain dead, to be honest.
Yeah.
They took so AJ took a picture of every single person who came and met me on a tripod, and then he was putting it into a video, and it was 2 minutes long. Like, you couldn't even see the picture. It was just like, and it was 2 minutes long of like 1,400 pictures just like ripping through, and I was just like, it's like frozen in it. So, a little brain dead right now, but it was a good time.
Was it like, did y'all expect that? Or like, did it live up to expectations or? did you come in thinking like, oh, maybe it'll be smaller because it's the first one?
Well, we expected it to be that big.
Yeah.
But like the success of it and how like much of a good time people had, and how like organized it felt, considering, was exceeded our expectations for sure.
It was definitely nerve-wracking because like none of us had been here before.
Yeah.
So I'm usually someone who likes to lay out the land. I mean, you showed up and you're like, oh, this looks totally different than what Josh had actually sent us. Like, I mean, it worked out though.
We even said yesterday, I forgot who we were talking to, but me and Shawley said that like it was one of the most organized events that we've been a part of like recently.
Bro, I've been to a lot of pop-ups like Christian and shit, like Alpha Elite tours and shit like that in the past, and like yesterday was definitely like the most organized like pop-up meet and greet I've ever been to. Like it was completely like the way the line was long, but the way it was just so perfectly structured, like around, and everyone was in like a straight line, like there was no bullshit and stuff. Like I thought that was really cool.
I mean, it was more to just create that crowd in front of them. And I think like we've just learned from going to different expos and everything else. It's like, I mean, when he first started, obviously he had nobody. They didn't even know who he was. His picture was on the wall, walked right past him, had no idea. But at least now it's a little bit different because you want to give him that space too, you know? So there's the one thing that we had to do this time is a lot of people take out their phones and they waste a lot of time. They don't have it ready. They don't have anything like that. So we just said, get rid of all that. Just do a professional picture. They're going to get their number. They're going to check it up online. And honestly, it's just a better experience.
Yeah. And it's like a high quality photo.
Exactly.
There's no like.
You were on your shit yesterday.
Yeah.
Bro, like I was like, I was like brain dead from the sun.
And my voice.
Yeah, and I was just, your voice was just playing in my head like nonstop. Like, next! Good, next! Bro. Good, next! Like over and over again. I was like, bro, I was like, he's going to hear that going to sleep tonight.
Yeah, I literally
went to bed last night and just heard Matt yell.
Good, next! Bro.
It's funny because I could tell, I would always tell Serge, like, there was a moment when it started getting faster and louder.
Yeah.
Like when you started getting annoyed, he's like, the next was like a lot harsher.
Oh, like 4 hours in, I'm like, we didn't eat, we didn't do anything. I'm getting angry now, and I'm just like, all right, just move through.
Yeah,
it.
he was like, yo, no more of this signature shit, no more of this. Like, it was so funny.
To me, the funniest part was like, I was telling, I was like, bro, the good is kind of condescending. It was like, good stuff. Next. Good. Next.
Yeah. I was just letting them know that as soon as I heard the click on the camera, I knew I was just like, good, get out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like the only problem is I think part of the problem is what I think Chris thinks is he would definitely spend time with like them for 5 minutes if he could.
I could tell.
Yeah.
So like, I think it gets uncomfortable because at the same time you just look at the line and you want to make it fair for everybody. You know, so like in the beginning, obviously we want to give them the time to get autographs, but obviously if we just kept doing it, I think if we did the math, to be there for like 3 days.
Yeah.
So it just was something to like speed up the time and at least give them some kind of experience.
Yeah. When y'all went, there was like, y'all took like one small break. I don't know if you went to the restroom or what, but when you were walking and everyone like came to the barricade and you dapped up one person and then you dapped up every single person, I was like, that's just like, Dom had been telling me that like the whole day, like, yo, Chris will like talk to every single person, take every single photo. But when I saw that, I was like, damn, like that's for real. Like every single person.
That's been one of the hardest things for me. Like he's saying, is these things get so big now. Like when I'm at the Arnold, I need like people to walk me in and out, or else I can't even get in and out of the building.
Yeah.
And I don't get like that same communication where I used to have with people, where I could just chat for like hear the story, why they're coming, like something they want to tell me, pictures they want to show me, whatever it is. Because I mean, it's more personal like that. It's hard just snapping pictures and getting them out of there. But like we said, we would have been there for days.
Yeah.
Literal days. I think it had gone by 3.5 hours or something, and the line wasn't even in Alpha Land yet. It was still outside, and we're like, okay, we're gonna have to speed this shit up.
Yeah, when we first sold it, I think the amount of tickets we did how much time each person would have. I think if we did 20 seconds for each person, we'd be there for at least 8-9 hours. And that was 20 seconds. So I was counting in my head too when he was doing those autographs. I'm like, he was right around 20-30 seconds. I'm like, all right, this is not gonna fly if we continue this way. So I wanted to at least get till 3 o'clock. The first 3 hours, obviously people were lining up at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, before even anybody else got there, and you know they were already started 4 hours. They waited that time. So at least those guys in the beginning, like they showed the commitment to show up early. I wanted to give them some kind of like appreciation.
Yeah.
You know?
No, because autographs ran for a little minute. I felt like it was until like 4 hours in where you were like, all right, you made the announcement. Like,
Because the event like lasted technically till 5.
Yeah.
We knew that wasn't gonna happen, but I mean, he's a trooper through it, honestly, bro. Like I don't. It's like different because he has the appreciation, I would say, that all these people show up, but you just know that at the same time it's kind of nerve-wracking to look at the line when you first walk out.
Yeah, no, it was.
Did you get like a sense of relief when you saw the end?
Oh, every time.
Yeah?
I'm literally like dying, like feel like I can't even think. I'm like losing my mind, and all of a sudden I see like the like light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, there's the end. It's coming up, and I'm just like energized.
Yeah,
bro,
bro, that's
like,
literally what
that.
Dom.
I'm
Yeah.
like, let's go. Like,
I saw that.
It ends, and I'm like, I can keep going. Like,
Yeah.
where's everyone else?
Yeah.
Well,
But
yesterday
in the middle, I'm
you
dead.
didn't want to stop yesterday, and Matty had to stop you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, damn, man, like, because I was like, bro, I'm gonna ask him for a picture, but I feel bad because like I'm gonna be that extra guy that he has to like take a picture with. But like I saw that you said something to Matty or something, and you were like, yo, I mean, there's only a couple people left. Let's just finish it out. And you were like, nah, we'll be here. all
I was
day.
like, here's the only thing is like at something like this too, like you couldn't block off the entire event. So like the biggest thing was I was always checking if everybody had a wristband on that made you like they had to have what they
Yeah.
came for, you know.
Yeah.
So as soon as like they were done wristbands and I saw everybody else, like it's not fair if someone like was in the gym all day and they just wait 30 seconds to walk out
Yeah.
and they get Chris. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
it sucks,
especially at
but
the end.
you just once a crowd starts,
Yeah.
it's over. You know.
Yeah, I saw kids like running over it, and I was like, he's about to just start another mob of like people.
The whole gym just
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for him too at the end of the day. I mean, I try to like justify it for him when he's there like
Yeah.
8 hours. Oh, it's just a normal work day for somebody else. But I mean, it's different. It's draining.
Yeah. What was the first event that y'all guys did that you were like, damn, like this is actually like a line of people? And was it after your first like Olympia winning, or was it before that?
I mean, it depends to what extent.
Yeah.
I think after my first Olympia win, I did an event with Gymshark, and like those events are just huge. People come for the event alone, and then for the athletes within it.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I had like my own decent line where I was up there with like Whitney Simmons and the Steve
Yeah.
Cooks and like that same shit. And then COVID hit, so we didn't do any events for a while. I won 2 Olympias back to back again for my third, and then it wasn't. I think I hadn't done an event in so long.
Yeah.
I was saying no to everything because of COVID, and I wasn't fucking with anything. I was also in Canada, and then I think it was Natural Body in New York. Was the first one we did after this most recent Olympia, and we were like, knew it would be crazy, but didn't really know what to expect. And as we showed up, it was like 10 blocks down. The guy was like freaking out, like he does this event every year, and he
Yeah.
never had anything like this. There were all these other vendors too, and people were just like ignoring them, coming straight to us.
Yeah.
Like it was wild. And we were there for 7-8 hours on that one too.
And that's the one where y'all literally had to like cut it off, right? Because
No, so I mean that's the thing. I mean, Chris, he won't ever cut off the line.
Yeah.
He has to see everybody who came and waited. I mean, there was people on that line that they showed up before we even got there, and the line was already like 8 hours deep.
Jeez. I think we got out of there. We were supposed to be 12 to 5. We got there an hour late because we had some hiccups. And then we were there from 1 to 8:39.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, by the end, it was just give me your phone. Take the
yeah,
picture.
yeah, like,
Yeah. You had it prepared for the next guy who's already coming
Yeah.
up, you know. I mean, that was definitely the first event, probably outside of it. I mean, you have it, and maybe the Olympias, you have a line.
Oh
but
yeah,
it's
the
a little
Olympias
bit-
always suck.
Yeah.
Because I'm a day out, 2 days out competing,
Yeah.
and people are like, "I know you're tired, but," and then it's
Yeah.
like a line of a couple hundred. They limit that one at least, but it's still a couple hundred people, and
Yeah.
I'm gas, haven't eaten anything, fucking doing 2 hours of cardio, eating 1,000 calories, and just like meeting people before getting on stage. So
Yeah.
those are rough, but
Oh,
they're probably the hardest.
They make you do like a meet, or
There's
you
the
have
meet
to-
and greet
Yeah.
before before the
Fuck that.
It's rough, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, those ones are probably the ones where I kind of bitch about the most because
Yeah.
at that point, like, all I'm trying to do is win the Olympia, and this is fucking me up, you know? It's like making me tired, my legs are getting swollen, I'm standing, like, all this shit just gets in my head. So
And
I
that
get more
affects your
anxious.
posing on stage.
It can, for sure,
Yeah.
yeah. So after that, I'm just like, run to bed, put my feet up, and sleep. But these events like this are always, they're less stressful because I don't have to compete, and it just shows you how real everything is. You know, we do everything online from your phone, reading comments, and it's cool to see and it's fun. But you see some people in real life and like their facial expression when they meet you,
Yeah.
the stories they have to say, like when their words out loud, it feels so much more real, and you leave just like so grateful that someone fucks with you and cares at all to follow you, come meet you, and just like that you had any kind of impact on their lives.
Yeah.
So it's always really cool.
No, I was telling Dom, like, my favorite part of the whole thing was like when people would get a photo, like their reaction after. Like it was like 30 seconds, but like, or even less than that, and they're freaking out. Like they're like smiling, jumping.
I saw one
like,
kid cry. Like he took a picture with you, and he was like trying to hold it together, and then like he walked under like the little canopy tent thing, and then walked past the barricades and just started crying a lot. And I was just like, damn.
It is pretty insane. I mean, the amount of times someone's probably come up and cried, I mean,
Doesn't happen all the time, but it
it
happens.
does. Yeah.
It's crazy.
I feel like that too. Like we said, like they're waiting so long, and then we have to like rush them out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel guilty like every time, and then I'm like, oh, they're gonna be mad. They're gonna come up and literally be like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
I'm following you, you know. But they don't even care. They're like, I know you're tired. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
Love you. And then they like run away. I'm like, damn, like it's wild.
That's dumb.
Yeah, and I think it was cool too that like all the other athletes that were there, like Marco and even Ian, like everyone was just posted up and like get their own line, and it was like they'd come for you, and then they'll hit like everyone up. It was pretty dope.
Yeah,
And like,
I mean, the most special part, honestly, like I think Chris, you know, there's gonna be a line. I said, but the fact that like when you looked up, you looked over the crowd and everything, you saw each individual and had their own line forming. I mean, that was the goal of the event. I mean, it's just to like at the same time he knows who he is. He has some type of status, and you kind of want to. I said he's in a position to help others do the same thing for themselves. So, I mean, it's a lot of the crossover from different following and everything like that. So, I mean, the only thing is we've done other events and expos and stuff like that, but it just makes it that much better to be able to personalize our own stuff, do things with people that we like, doing it with.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing that he said yesterday is the entire time while it's happening, you're enjoying it in the moment, everything, but you're just like, man, I could have done this so much better.
yeah,
The entire time.
Yeah. You're always gonna think that.
Yeah.
Though. It's. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think just being able to like look up and see I said the same thing to him. I was like, damn, everyone's here for Chris, but I see like members of like the Raw Revive team or Raw team like just getting like their own line, their own pictures, their own like fans, I guess you can say. It was pretty cool to see all that. I think it was just a perfect event.
It was so smooth.
So smooth. It was.
That's part of me. I like love it, but I'm also like, I have that like, how the fuck are we ever gonna do this again? Like that, you know, like the way Alpha Land's set up, the fencing area, the people like we're done with the Alpha Eats, went to the gym and trained. Everything was just so like set up to be perfect. Now we're like, what if we do this in a fucking like parking lot field? Like it's gonna be a shit show.
Yeah.
So
One of the coolest things to me was like the amount of people that was wearing Inaka. I've never seen like just that. Even when we come here, like obviously a lot of people wear it, but I was just like, wow, like shorts, shirts, all the belts. Like I was like, man,
I felt like it was like half of the people either had a belt, shorts, or a shirt.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
insane. Like I was like, bro, the amount of Inaka belts that you signed yesterday was hilarious. I was like, bro, every time I look, I'm just like, wow.
That was the one thing I thought of. I'm like, fuck these belts. I'm making bum belts. And I'm pre-signing them and I'm bringing them to these events.
Bro, it was insane. I didn't, like you said, like we see a lot of Inaka here, but like I feel like yesterday brought out like all the like obviously the Cbum supporters, but like a lot of them that did wear or fuck with Inaka, they were all there like out just like wearing shit. That was pretty cool to see. But
What's the feeling you get when you see all that? Like people wearing your clothing and everything like that?
I mean,
Do you actually like feel accomplished when you see that?
yeah, I do. I think it's more of like a surreal feeling. I don't know. It's weird.
I think when you text me in the morning, like when we saw the line, because like we opening day we had a line like for our store, but it was like 8 a.m. and it was legit like a line to get into our store, and it would stay like that till like 10 a.m. And like we weren't here, so someone like sent us the photo.
Yeah, people were sending us pictures,
and we were just like, damn, like it's kind of crazy that people are lining up when there's a whole other line that they need to be getting into just to wait on our clothes and stuff. To me, that's the most crazy part. Or like when they wear it, but they don't know who we are. That's it's weird, but like that's what I like the most, because it's like, damn, they bought it just because of like the strength of like they like the design or whatever, and then getting those people then to like be a part of the community and stuff is like dope.
I think every now and then it'll hit me, but I don't know. I feel like the first couple of times it was like, oh shit, this is crazy, but then like yesterday it was like one of those moments where like, okay, this is pretty insane. Like at least 400, 500 people here had an Inaka product, whether it was a belt, wrist strap, whatever. I thought that was pretty cool. But I mean, I don't know. I guess for me it's like motivation to keep going, and I guess for me it also confirms that we're doing something right. So I think yesterday being able to like collaborate with you guys, a lot of people look up to you guys a lot, and being able to post an event like that with you guys was like one of the greatest things I've ever experienced. So I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
Yeah, Dom was like, yeah, this is definitely like a telltale sign of like who like really like runs the industry now. And it's dope. Like even Dom's post today or yesterday, I was like, shit, like it's like, cause we fuck with y'all, like we like y'all a lot, and it's just like dope that it's like companies don't really do stuff like that, and so the fact that y'all are just so willing to just like, bro, like there's no like competition, like all this shit. It's like let's just get together and just like do dope shit. So dope.
I mean, there's no reason why multiple companies can't succeed together.
Yeah.
You know, it's always like, oh, this guy's got to be better than this one and everything else. And I mean, I think like yesterday kind of shows what can be done. And that's only just the beginning, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the insane part. Cause like you were saying, like, how can you do it again? I feel like the next one in Miami is going to be bigger.
Yeah.
It's just going to be, Miami is going to be like.
I feel bad like saying that though, because like the person that deals with that is
we're gonna have to figure out we're figuring out new ways to limit it.
Like,
this is like, you can't have more people like that, at least, who are getting access to seeing me one-on-one. Like that was like a cap. If anything, that was too much, because the last few people got rushed out so fast. So we're gonna have to like organize the event, structure it completely different
to make you like have more fun.
I
mean, yesterday was fun, but like to make you have a lot more fun, just like
not
relaxed.
even that, just to also scale the event. You know, to be like, so that's the cap. You know, like every event will just be that. We can't get better. We can't do more. There's got to be ways to figure it out. We were talking to Matt Jansen, and he was like, you just need to start doing seminars, just speeches, just like come up, you know, you can bring in like 1,000 people or whatever, and like maybe like charge a shit ton for a little meet and greet after, but like everyone can just sit down and like Q&A seminar, like talk to them and shit, and see how that goes. And that stresses me out more, because I hate public speaking. I'm no Tony Robbins or anything, but I mean, it might be the next step eventually.
Well, the meet and greet person per person kind of gets counterproductive, because you're killing yourself for 8 hours. The whole seminar thing, you can kind of interact and have this like personal conversation with everyone at once in a very like I guess like a very like a confined room where everyone feels like they're a part of this conversation and they're actually talking to you one-on-one. Especially if their question or something similar to their question gets
answered.
So I think that's definitely a better. I can't see you doing that.
There's no way. At some point, you gotta like be like, bro, I can't do this anymore. Because that line was crazy.
That's only with what tickets went on sale last Friday. So like we capped it by,
and y'all capped it
Wednesday. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I also would like to stop being an asshole to all these people, you know. But I think like just doing a seminar and like something like that, it also just, the experience is 10 times better, man. 10 times better.
They're getting value instead of you. What were you saying that you said all the time? Thanks for coming out. Like they're actually getting value from
it. And it's hard, because a lot of people now, all they want is a picture. And they have to tell their friends they saw this person, you know. So it's like and weeding out the people who actually really care for that, and the ones who just want like a cool picture or whatever, it's like you never know. So
well, if they want the picture, they'll pay the extra to do the picture.
Is there anyone that, because I was thinking this yesterday, is there anyone that you'd wait in line for 8 hours?
No.
I was like, bro, there's no human being on earth.
No, like
maybe Kanye. Kanye for sure.
No
celebrity. When we were talking about like first person I'd wait for would be Kanye, second would be like Kim Kardashian. But I wouldn't wait 8 hours.
In the sun. Shout out to anyone who did that though.
Seriously. The amount of people, the burns people had from standing out there.
I saw one girl who was completely burnt, like just straight red. I was like,
Ian right now has just a dead line, because he was wearing a tank, just pale white, and then just a red line. His arm is just beat red like a lobster.
Bro, the sun was out.
It was
hot,
like full effect.
Bro, it was exhausting. Did you eat at any point during the day?
I had a small meal when we took that little break and ran. I like threw down like a little meal and one of those cookies. We had those cookies. So those are like,
were so
those
good.
are pretty heavy. So I had a full one of those and a steak meal, and I was back on my feet.
Word.
When do you start like? All right, so you've already started your prep, right? No, you haven't. So when do you start your prep?
My actual prep, like diet, won't start until like end of August.
Okay.
Olympia's not until December this year, so
right now you're just like eating, living life, training.
I'm trying. That's what's been rough. Like we just did the Arnold, and that was a crazy weekend. Then I was in Canada for a while. We've been traveling a lot. I had this come in, and it's really hard to get my groove right now with so much other aspects on my mind, like business growing, all this shit going, like multiple facets of the business, new things coming, everything. It's hard to like be like, okay, lock it down. You need to train now. So like that just kind of hit me hard like a week or two ago, where I'm like, I need to prioritize. I like sat down and I was like prioritizing what's most important to me right now.
Yeah.
And obviously there's a lot of like I have Matt, Dom, the other Matt, everyone who can like run the businesses, and they're there for a reason, and I can like let them handle the shit that they need to do so I can do what I need to do. And I'm learning I need to like do more of that and just leave the office early, go train, say no to more events. I've been saying no to a lot of shit and just like focus on my bodybuilding because it's still a priority to me.
Exactly.
And living like this, I won't win an Olympia.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
You know, like
I feel you. I think that what's different, and I tell people this all the time, what's different, how old are you?
27.
Damn. So you're 27 and you look at all the greats, like the Olympias, like prior to you. Like, I don't know, obviously you're not like the Olympia, but everyone thinks you're the Olympia because that's all people.
Some people don't.
Like, so, I mean, in this sense, you as the current Olympia, looking at the people that came, like, I guess prior to you, no one really took advantage of like the fame and the following that you had when it was their time. They kind of just focused directly on bodybuilding. And I feel like, I mean, correct, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I feel like when this is all said and done for you, you're going to have a shit ton to fall back on versus the people that came prior to you that kind of, all they did was bodybuilding. And now this like.
And then they retire and try and do it.
Yeah. And it's like, there's nothing else to do.
And all they can do is just like give speeches.
Bro,
and shit.
You're like, essentially, you have the potential to be like The Rock. Like, you dominate in your field bodybuilding for such like 4, 5, 6 years, however many years you want to dominate.
That was a great comparison.
It was, right?
That was
because
wow, that was great. I'm not
because
gonna lie, that was great.
Because when you do retire, let's say you retire at 36. Or I don't know, whenever the fuck you want to retire. I don't know how long. How long?
How long are we running it?
We'll see.
Okay.
I take it one at a time.
Okay.
I'll win next year and I'll decide for the next year. And I run like that.
He's like Brady.
Whenever you do,
he's like Brady over here.
Whenever you do step away, bro, you're chilling, and you have something else to devote your time to. I see you're passionate.
So it's gonna even turn up even more.
You're passionate about Raw. You're passionate about everything you're doing right now, and you're here. The reason I can tell is because you're here right now. If you weren't, you'd be at home training.
For sure.
You're passionate because you're here right now, and you're doing all these things like you did yesterday. You're passionate about it. So I think that what's amazing about you is that you have one field that you're dominating in, and you can continue to dominate in. And then if you were to step away from it, you can kind of just do your own thing with the business and shit.
Yeah, and I mean, that was always my goal. Like, I was sick of having sponsorships. There was always parts of companies I didn't like. There was always shit Shmove did that wasn't mine. I just never liked it. You know, no one likes having a boss. Tell them what to do. Even different in a contract, whatever, but it's still the same concept. So I always wanted to like build my own things, and I wanted to do it while I was still here. So I wasn't like the retired guy trying to like grasp at straws.
Yep.
But like, I also understand why none of the other guys did it, because it's like, let alone the energy and the physical stuff you have to do, just the mental focus of where your brain is at. Like, how much do you go to bed or walk in the gym or have any time of day where you're trying to like, or even hanging out with a girlfriend, whatever, like your mind's supposed to be somewhere else, but you're thinking of like the next drop coming, what's coming on this, I need to be doing more, this got fucked up, this, you know, like
all the time.
As when you're like literally doing something at the best in the world, you have to be better than everybody else in the entire world. Your focus has to be locked in on that.
I cannot imagine.
So it's hard to like separate and be like, yeah, I'm Mr. Olympia now, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot. It's hard.
Do you think about the Olympia every day?
Yeah.
Every like multiple times a day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hits like that was like a few weeks ago. It was hitting me to the point of like, I'm not doing what I need to do right now.
Yeah.
Straight up. And like, I took a long time off, giving my body a break, and I got back into it, and I was like putting on like 2-3 pounds like every week, like easily, because I was so untrained. But now I'm like up to 258 pounds, like decent, strong, like some strength back, but like I know I need that extra push right now of like killing myself and being locked in to like be the bodybuilder I need to be to win again.
When are you gonna say no to like the shit, like the events? Like, what have you done? August?
They're straggling out right now. I think I have a few in June. The big one, I have a big one in June I have to go overseas to, which is gonna suck. But then like one more in July, I think, and then I'm done. I'm just trying to say no in August, and then I'll have September, October, November to December, just not traveling.
Dialed.
Yeah.
I don't even think people realize, like, they think, oh, Chris, he's an owner, this and that. He's just like a face, but they don't even see every single day he comes into the office.
Yeah.
It's the same time everybody else comes into the office, and then he stays either until the exact time everybody else leaves or even later. So, I mean, he's there for at least 8-9 hours a day, putting in the work every single day, and I think that's what I appreciate the most out of it. I mean,
I was gonna ask, so you're officially like his manager, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really put a term on it.
Oh,
but-
yeah, no, it's because
like
someone
a
told me
business.
that. No, someone told me that, so I was like, oh,
It's
well.
kind of started like that, but it's more like business partner.
Yeah. And so, what is your relationship like in sense of like, I mean, the same way that you tell people like, yo, you gotta hurry this like photo up. Is there anything like where you're like, yo, you can't do this event, or like, you make all that decision? Like, yo, like I'm gonna do this event in July, and Matty's like, bro, you really shouldn't.
He's definitely
I'll step in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in terms of like where he's at in my head. He supports like what I need instead of business.
Okay.
Like he'll support bodybuilding for sure.
I feel that.
And yeah,
I also know I mean, he truly, that's where his passion really is, you know? Like, and I know that's, like, he has his time, like, he's talked about, like I said, he takes it year by year, but he's someone who, I mean, it's somewhat also dangerous in a sense. He's always talked about that when he's done
Yeah.
from bodybuilding. And I know he's not done right now, so I don't want to also get in that way at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, like, say, when it was coming to August, I said, like, get out of the office. Like, don't come in every day. Maybe come in once, twice a week, but it's not needed, you know?
How'd y'all come about? Like how long y'all know each other?
2016.
16-ish.
I think I was at an old company called MHP. We brought him on as a sponsored athlete. It's funny because that's the one question I always get asked. How did we meet? And back then he was just, 18, 19?
no, 2016. I was like 21.
Oh, no.
That's
I thought I made it like 20.
6 years ago.
I don't know. He wasn't a pro yet.
Yeah.
He wasn't a pro yet. And I just saw him one day on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, we got to get this guy. And my boss at the time was like, nah, like, we don't really need anybody.
Yeah.
And so I just said, look, man, if there's anything that I've ever said to you before, like, just trust me on this one. And he ended up signing, and then he came in one day from Canada. We were back in Jersey. He came into HQ one day, and then by the very next trip, I think he just stayed at my house. Like the next time, like we just hit it off. He came in. He never had Chipotle in his life. He had Chipotle 3 times that day.
It was like my first time ever going to the States.
Yeah.
oh shit! 3 times in one day.
Yeah, he was like,
stomach
bro.
was just
I was like,
destroyed.
what do you want to do? He goes, what? Yeah. He's like, what's this Chipotle place? Like, can we go there? But yeah, it's been honestly crazy just from the start of it.
Yeah. And so y'all just remained friends, and then you left the company, and y'all started working together.
Yeah, I mean, he was with the company for a little longer than me, and he was just like, he was trying to find a way to get me on my contract at one point. You know, I was like, I wasn't, the brand was like an old school, you know, thing, and I was kind of growing at a different rate, and he was like, okay, we need to get you the fuck out of here, honestly.
Yeah.
I hope you don't get in trouble for me even saying that. It was a long time ago.
It was the whole game plan.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, basically what happened was in 2017 they were such a old school brand. It was always magazines, always this, and that was the one time I finally got approval on something just like video wise, and they let me go get a videographer. And I just told him like 2 weeks prior to the Olympia, I was at 2017. Yo, man, I'm just gonna have someone like there. He'll do some videos for you, like
2 weeks?
whatever.
You told me when we were in Vegas.
I told you like 2 weeks ahead of time that it was like, you'll have something, but it wasn't exactly what. It was literally like, oh, video. Like it was nothing crazy. I showed up with this guy, and I already paid him, and I was like, yo, he's gonna follow you around the entire time.
Yeah, I remember.
And he was like, and he's like, nope. Get out. Like, and I was like, please, man. Like,
I didn't vlog at this point.
Yeah, he didn't vlog. He was just starting. I mean, he did maybe a couple YouTube videos, nothing crazy. And I was like, please, man, like, just try this one time. I'm like, yo, you'll like regret if you do well not being having these videos to watch. Like at this point, I was like, I knew he had something there, but at the same time, I was like, you're gonna want to look back at these videos. And I said, look, you can just let him follow you around, sit in the room. If at any point, like, just tell him to leave. And that's it. Like, I won't even second guess it, question it, or anything. And he let it happen. And I think the videos got like 2 million views.
Sheesh.
So I think you at least trust me a little bit after that.
That was a kickstart to the YouTube. I still didn't post for 8 months after that.
Yeah.
Posted once, didn't again for a month. That was the worst YouTube at the beginning. But yeah, that was a big push where we kind of realized too what the fuck we could do beyond the small stuff that everyone else just like sticks around, like compete, and then like have your supplement sponsor, and that's it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's more to this. We can figure out some new shit to like. All the stuff of the fitness world that was growing, and the competitors, no one touched that. Yeah, there was no gap between that. It was just bodybuilding and people, social media influencers.
Yeah, it was Christian. That's who it was at that time.
Yeah.
You know,
Christian and Calma Moger.
Yeah.
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 But you're saying like the true bodybuilders, like the ones that actually took
like
it,
the top level, like the Olympians.
Yeah. No one was doing YouTube.
No.
Yeah.
I was really I was the first Olympian to do like a prep series.
Yeah.
Just like document it, to like show that kind of shit, that much shit like that, like in like a influencer type way.
Can you imagine if like, I guess Phil did something like that back in his time, like when he was prepping and shit? Like,
Be wild.
fuck.
That would be insane. Yeah.
They did a few old school Road to the Olympia. They were like further out.
Yeah.
But there were
It was just a couple videos, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't
but
like
even those were like every bodybuilder competitor has seen those because they're so iconic.
Yeah.
Bodybuilders are different too, though, because they never wanted to show their body that close to an event, right? Like they would always be like, "Oh, I gotta hide. I don't want anybody to see what I look like." I mean, and he was kind of the first one to truly start showing like his physique at 2 weeks out, you know. But I think that just came down to more so his confidence. It was never like him versus anybody else. It was just, hey, if I come up there that day and I'm better than what I was last year, or I know I put in the work, like it's fine, like you know.
Didn't you take like I followed your last prep like really closely. Weren't you posting pictures that were like a week old?
Yeah.
Like
I hold pictures for like 10 days, maybe more sometimes, and then I post them up.
But you would act like it was like current time.
I just wouldn't say anything.
Okay.
I would just post it. And some people sometimes like, he's looking kind of behind this kind of shit, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
cool.
I would read the comments.
I remember we were talking about that.
Some people would like investigate, like, no, he took this last week because like
The
I remember
table.
this. Yeah, I remember this mirror. This thing was in the mirror, or Courtney was doing this.
He got a haircut.
Yeah.
Beard is longer.
That shit's crazy.
That is crazy. Why do they do that though? Like, is it because like why do y'all like not show so like close? Because I don't follow like bodybuilding and shit, so I don't know. Like, is it because of like the judging or?
No, it's more like the impact you have when you step on stage and no one really
Like
knows
shocked
what
by you?
to
Yeah.
like no one knows what to expect.
Yeah.
Really. Like I show a lot for sure, but when I get down to the very end, I don't hit on like full posing routines, because then like I want there to be like an impact of people being like, hey, he looked like that, he looked good, it was coming together, but did he fucking dial in? Did he get dialed?
Dial. Yo, that's clipped right there. anyone who says anything about me and Shawley saying dial, he just said it. So fuck you guys. But nah, that
then
makes
you
sense.
step on stage and it's like fuck, like you did it.
Yeah.
Now I remember watching you last year when you came out on stage, because like I said, I followed your prep, and like you came out on stage, you looked completely different from what you looked on Instagram. Like it was just like completely just like night and day. And I was just like, damn, okay, now it makes sense why they hide their bodies, because like you come out, it's like, oh shit, Chris looks on point this year. Like damn, like who came in second?
Terrence.
Yeah. It also relieves a little bit of stress off you. Like, if you're posting current shit and people are talking shit about you, you're like,
Then you start getting
Yeah.
Like, when I get into those last parts, I need to just like tune it all out. Like, I usually have comments on my Instagram open. I like turn those off. I mute like bodybuilding pages out my other competitors. I just like mute them on Instagram. I'm like, I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Because last year I honestly didn't look that good at 2 weeks out. I was a little off. I was behind my body. I was kind of stressed out. My body wasn't dropping weight, so I was just like, fuck it. Like, you know, I hid for a little, and then I just, in the last week, what people didn't even see, I changed drastically. And it just came together in the end.
Yeah, I mean, he was what, 250 still 2 weeks out?
Yeah.
Something
and I
like
ended
that?
up at like 236.
Sheesh. How much cardio are you doing at that point?
2 hours.
A day?
Yeah. I was like 1,500 calories.
Yeah.
Food, 2,000, or sorry, 2 hours of food calorie. Oh my God.
Wow.
I'm losing my mind.
I was like, wait, what? 2 hours of calorie? What is that even?
In my head, I was like,
damn,
that's some bodybuilding shit.
I was like, yo, that's that Olympia shit for real. I've never heard of
fucked up
that.
once, and I saw Shawley go like, and I fucked up again. He's like,
Bro, I was like, 2 hours of food? I was like, I never did that.
I was like, what? I was like, bro, he has a 2 hour
yeah,
window.
eat for 2 hours, and then I do cardio for the rest of the day.
I mean, just as like a friend though, the thing that I noticed the most with it when he's competing and everything else, I mean, he never like makes an excuse. If something goes wrong, it's just like, all right, what's next? I mean, people didn't see, like, especially it was what, 2019, your prep. I mean,
Oh my God, yeah.
it was a disaster. I mean, he was dealing with his autoimmune disease, and I think I went out like 4 weeks out. I went out to Canada, and his
Like
upper
2.5. I tore my hamstring in 3 weeks.
at
or 4
three.
weeks out too.
I think it was right after you tore your hamstring. He's like, "Yo, come out here, just chill." We went out there, or I went out there. I stayed for a week, and he's like, "Bro, just stay for one more, like whatever." And I think it was at 2 weeks out. Finally, it like came together. But I mean, his legs looked like they were 15 weeks out.
Wait, you tore your hamstring 3 weeks out from the.
Well, he did that 4 weeks, and then
like 4 weeks out. Yeah.
You still competed with the torn hamstring.
Yeah.
You won, right?
And won.
Yeah. That was the first year.
I think I remember that.
yeah. But his
Bro, were you in pain?
It wasn't when I flexed. It would like cramp. Like I still have a hole because it didn't heal properly. But like it's just I couldn't really train properly.
Yeah.
Like there's a few videos of like leg days and like it's just like he came with me, Calvin came with me. We were filming. Courtney might have been there, but just like no one looked at me or talked to me because I was just like trying to like I was in pain. I like had to wrap my leg up and just get through it.
Yeah, there was one day, I think it was just over the 2 weeks out, and he had to train legs that day, and he was not having it. I mean, he was in his head, as like I said. I mean, every morning he would wake up because his water, in his legs he would just fill with water. He would sit up every single morning. He would get up out of bed, take his pictures, and sit at the chair for an hour, pushing in his shin. And you could tell it was getting to him just because nothing was working, nothing was doing whatever. And it was leg day, and we were training together at that time. And at that point, I'm like, "Yo, Calvin, turn the camera off today. Leave him alone." And we said, everybody get out of the apartment.
Yeah.
And he somehow got to. I think you ended up training that day.
Yeah.
And it was just. That was the one day he's like, "Yo, I felt he was gonna kill Calvin. He was gonna kill Calvin." I think.
No, go ahead.
I said there was one point I think he was in the car and Calvin he just always like gets in his ear from the back seat, like he's always got his face like right up in his head, and he was driving and he was just sniffling and Chris was like, "Yo, can you just shut the fuck up?"
Calvin's like a little brother.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
Sometimes we have a friend or like literally a little brother that we can just like fucking punch and poke. And there's just that annoying person.
Yeah.
They also do stuff purposely to annoy you.
Yeah.
He'd like have a monster and he'd be on the back seat of the car and he'd like slide into the middle and then he'd like lean forward and he'd go open the monster, then he'd go like that's every sit he would do that and I'd be like just sitting there like, "Man, I'm gonna fucking slap you one more time."
Chris has one rule: if you're staying with him during his prep, it's no pastries in the house.
Really?
Like no matter what, no pastries.
Or
It's
like baking,
anything
stuff that smells
baking.
good, like
This guy, so he takes it one step further. He had none of that, but he would just do toast and Nutella every morning or every night. So he would wake up and he'd be like, "What the fuck, man?" Just like
you know that smell of Nutella on hot bread, you know?
When you fresh
And then
open it.
there'd be an empty thing of Ben and Jerry's on the counter.
Oh, man.
Oreos. I'm just like, man, come on. Then it was like we were in a little condo at that point
Yeah.
too. He's a character. He's
Have you ever? I don't know if you can answer this on air. Have you ever like had like a moment where you just like said like you just cheated on your diet?
To that point, no. Like
where you were just
like have I ever? Yes.
Yeah, like
but
an Olympia prep.
in
like,
any of
yo,
my Olympia preps, no.
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 Okay.
Way too dialed.
Yeah. The time I won my pro card though, I fucking went in one day and I had.
Really?
I think I bought. I don't even remember how I got there, but I was
Just blacked out?
I was living with Ian at the time, and he was making me he always makes me suffer. I was like falling off the cardio bike and being so like carb depleted in the morning. And then one day I went to the grocery store and I just saw these muffins, and I like to this day I don't remember grabbing them and putting them in my cart and buying them. But it's somehow I got outside of Ian's house and I'm sitting in my car and I bought 2 boxes of muffins. So there's 6 like big muffins.
Each box?
Each box had 6, 12 total. Yeah, it's just sitting there, and I'm in the car, and I'm like outside their house. I'm living with them, and I'm like, "Fuck it!" And I ate I think I ate 10 of them.
Jeez.
Like just had 10 muffins, and I was like, "Fuck! What did I just do?" And then I hid the garbage in the car because I wasn't bringing it in the house.
Yeah,
and, went in there and fucking whatever. Just didn't tell them at all, but. It worked out. I got my pro card. It was like 2 weeks later or something, but
I have a funny story.
wild.
When I was getting my pro card, it was like 1 week out, and bro, like it was because my prep the year I won my pro card was because COVID was happening, and like my prep getting.
Remember they kept pushing your shit
Bro,
back.
I was supposed to compete in July. I ended up competing in November. So from July to November, my shit kept getting pushed back. And for that time, I dieted for like 20 plus weeks, like probably like close to 30 weeks. And towards the end, man, I was just like, man, fuck this shit. Like, if I don't win, it just wasn't meant to happen.
Yeah.
So like, I remember, and this is so unlike me, I was like so hungry. Like I was probably going through the same thing you were going through. I was just so depleted, just tired. I think my coach had me on 0 carbs. And I was just like, man, fuck this shit. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep because my stomach was just like eating my soul. Like there was no food in my body, so my body was just like, bro, I have to start eating you. I have to start eating
Your body just starts deteriorating.
Yeah. I was like, man, fuck this. Casey was with me at the time. I literally just got out of bed, 2 o'clock in the morning, drove down to Jack in the Box, fucking Jack in the Box. I ordered like the spicy chicken sandwich with curly fries, 2 tacos, the cheesecake thingy, and the churros. I ate all of it in the car, put it in the trash can, went to bed, put the covers on me, and just went to bed. And I woke up the next morning, I was like, wow, I can't believe I did that. I was 1 week out.
Did it feel like you even did it the next morning, or was it like that was a dream?
I looked fucking sick. I had to confess to my coach because I was panicking. I was like, Coach, I fucked up my prep. Like, I just know I'm gonna win. We're gonna have to push it back. He's like, bro, calm down. Trust me. I had to do 0 carb days, a lot of cardio, and I was straight. But that was like the one time I've ever cheated. It was crazy.
I would say you're pretty good with food, though.
I've gotten better. Over the years, I've definitely gotten better.
It's definitely like the Courtney effect. I think like in the beginning, he'd always just like do it just plain old like whatever.
Yeah.
And as soon as Courtney comes in, she just like makes everything, makes it taste good. It's just veggies, and he just.
I think the biggest impact she's had on me is she's so healthy.
Yeah.
Like she won't eat processed food. Like she hasn't eaten fast food in like 10 years.
That's dope.
It's crazy. Everything she eats is like organic, clean, all this shit, you know? So throughout the year now, I don't really eat shitty either. Like the shittiest thing I'll go out and get is, well, lately Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
'cause I've just
Chick-fil-A,
been on it, you know? But like even that, it's like maybe once a month, like
Yeah.
deep into my off season. But other than that, it's consistently clean food, and it's all I want.
Yeah.
I don't crave anything. I don't even like sugar anymore.
Yeah.
I can't eat it. So now when I'm in prep, because I don't even have it in my off season,
It's not even
it's
like-
not even on
yeah.
my brain to have. You know, I don't even care. I'd like some more rice, but like,
Yeah.
I'm not like craving shit.
So you don't like
It's honestly
cookies?
made it easier.
Like cookies or like candy?
I mean, I like them.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
I'm not like obsessed.
Okay.
Like like I can't eat ice cream or I'll get like a headache now.
Yeah.
Like too much sugar kind of fucks me up.
Like, are you someone if someone was to put cookies in front of you when you're dying, you'd eat them?
When I'm dieting,
For sure.
I wouldn't eat them, but I kind of had the similar rule because when I was prepping like when I was with my girl, I just had this rule where like we wouldn't buy shit like that because like it gets so bad like mentally, like I don't want to see you enjoying that.
Yeah, like why is that shit
Like
even
if
in the house?
if I can enjoy it, go enjoy it outside, but just don't enjoy it in my home. So like I never really got placed. If it was in front of me, I'd probably have one cookie. I'm not gonna lie, but I try not to get to that point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's tough.
Once you have one, it's just like I've gotten to the point now where like one fuck up is just like it's not perfect anymore.
Yeah.
It's like I haven't cheated, but the closest I've gotten with Courtney would have like this like 89% like tree bark chocolate in the fridge, you know, because that's all the chocolate she eats, organic, like dark ass chocolate. And I remember like just being like, fuck it. And I took a bite and I'm chewing it. I'm like, fuck, this is so good. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I ruined it. And I like spit it out in the trash. I'm like rinsing my mouth and spitting out the water, like go brush my teeth. I'm like, didn't happen.
Do you ever do that? Like, do you ever like? This is pretty crazy, but it's like kind of like some eating disorder.
Yeah,
shit.
this is definitely.
Like, do you ever?
What I just said is fucked up.
Do you ever bite like I've done this before, so I'm gonna admit to it. I've eaten a cookie and spat it out, or like eating the chocolate and just like eat it but don't swallow it and then spit it back out. Do you ever do that?
I've never done it for the intention of doing it, but I've done it and been like, nope. And like I just said there, and been like lost control for a second, and then as I'm chewing it, been like, oh, not worth it.
Okay.
Spit it out.
I've done it for the intention, like just to get that.
Did it help or make it worse?
It did help, but it makes you want to eat it.
Exactly.
So yeah, it didn't help. Yeah.
You get the taste, and then you
Yeah,
want
yeah.
more.
You're just like, wow,
I would chew it all the way up, like till like where it's like
that's disgusting.
just like this is pretty gross, but like where it's just like nothing, like liquid essentially, and I just spit it all out.
You're probably low key swallowing.
I was about to say, there's definitely some. There's definitely some.
Yeah.
BB%. Man, that's insane. So like, what do you like? What's like the hardest part of prep for you then? Because if like food's not that hard, right? So like, is it just like kind of like just business, right? Like having to separate from that.
Probably recently, it's been keeping my head in a good space because I have a lot of other shit going on. I've also had some health issues in the past, and like putting the stress around the expectations I have now. That like, if I show up as nothing less than the best in the world,
Then
people
what are we
think I
even
suck.
doing? Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I could come second in the world, but I suck now because I was first.
Yeah.
So like, separating from those expectations sometimes is hard, as well as my health. I know like it's not the healthy sport to do. And I've had shit in the past. So like, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing to my body right now? Is something going to happen? Am I going to have another autoimmune flare up? Which can just happen out of nowhere sometimes. And I get in my head like that. Business, my mind being on something else. I'm like, am I too distracted in this? Like all that shit taking me out of just like enjoying, like, you just go to the gym and you have fun. When I'm not feeling like I'm just going to the gym, having fun, like I'm choosing to prep, I'm going to, like, I do this right and I'm the best in the world. Like, of course it's worth it. When I like lose that mindset a little bit, everything just feels like it's crumbling. So I just need to like, at this point, I just need to check myself, make sure I'm still doing what I love and I have everything like lined up properly where it's all set up in a way that I can enjoy it and keep kind of flowing with it.
What is autoimmune disease? I'm not really informed.
I mean, there's countless autoimmune diseases probably, but it's like in some shape or form your immune system like attacks itself. So I had one where it caused a lot of the inflammation and affected my kidneys a little bit, and it caused me to hold a bunch of water and inflame everywhere. So obviously, if that happens in prep, like you look like shit. Sometimes when it used to happen to me, my legs would just like shrink because I'd be like deflated, and then the lines you have like just filled them with water. So you just look skinny and like out of shape, and you're like, wow, like everything's ruined,
Yeah. Damn.
So when you're going through those things, how do you separate? Like, how do you like get back into the zone? Like, what do you do as practice? I guess just like take a moment, breathe, or like do you turn off your phone? Or
I definitely. So at the end of my last prep, my screen time was about 40 minutes a day.
Jesus.
So like nothing.
That's impressive.
And I'd be on it during cardio and then like check it, but like it was like I almost didn't have the energy to look at it. But I really wasn't on my phone, and that definitely helped a lot. And a point, Melissa, Ian, and Courtney were all at my house, and then they moved out at the end, but I needed time alone. So I started like going to a beach and just like sitting there, not telling anyone, leaving my phone behind, and just like chilling, separating from the world. I'm also an introvert, so like I need that alone time sometimes. But it's really just like checking yourself. I see a therapist too. And I'm seeing her every week. I see her once a month maybe now, but I was seeing her every week in prep, and she definitely helped me a lot. Just kind of like gather your thoughts. I started journaling on shit that she had me do, and like just like getting a right mindset and focusing on just the shit that's in your control. Like seeing you're choosing to do this shit, what's in your control, like
that's
do
all
it.
you can control.
What's bothering you right now? What can you do to change it, and are you willing to do that? 3 questions, you're set. Like that's it.
That's dope.
So just kind of focusing on that shit.
How long have you been seeing a therapist?
I started probably this is a new one I found in Florida, but the first time I saw one I think was before my 2020 Olympia that I went. I think it was after that. Ever since one year I got really sick during prep in 2018, and ever since that year I've had like a new level of like anxiety in me, of like fear of shit. Whereas before that, you're just a carefree kid. And ever since then it was like difficult to kind of get into that zone and flow I was talking about in prep. So I've been on and off talking to someone for 2.5 years or so.
That's cool. I mean, I go to therapy as well. I don't talk about it a lot, but I didn't know that you do that too. So that's cool.
Helps a lot. I mean, for anyone. Even if you feel like you're great. Even if you feel like your relationship's great. Like, there's always shit you can be better at in life. And if you're trying to be a high achiever or do some crazy shit, like, you're going to be stressed out and it's going to be hard. It always helps.
I think venting, I tell people this, like you said, like, you can think that everything's good, but for me, in my opinion, therapy, because I go for like anxiety, business, and just life. And I think around 2019 is where it got really, really bad. So ever since then, I've been seeing a therapist. Like I go at least a couple times a month. I don't really talk about it, but it's something I do in my private time. But I always tell people, like, even if you feel like you're good or you're 100% like ready to go, I think there's always a section of your mind that you want to vent to someone, but you constantly vent to yourself about it. It feels good to just sit in a room for 45 to an hour and just explain the weirdest problems with your head to someone else. And just like not have the fear of being judged or like, oh, you shouldn't do this. Like just expressing your mind. Cause like there's certain things, like, I mean, I don't tell Casey because like I just don't want to worry her head about it. And I don't want her to think I'm fucking weird. So like, I just kind of like, I mean, not that I can't tell her anything, but it's like, there's certain things that I just want to fucking just vent to people, vent to someone. And like my therapist is just a perfect person to just sit in the room and just vent all my stresses and anxiety to.
I mean, I think you're lying if you tell yourself you never have any thoughts like in your head where you're like, that's wrong, that's weird. They're going to think something that you kind of hold inside of you deep, and it's almost like a shameful part of you or something where you're like, that's wrong in some way, anything. And like, even understanding that everyone has those thoughts, and like talking to someone and them being like, yeah, it's fucking normal.
It's normal.
Like,
Everyone
whatever.
has it, yeah.
Like, doesn't
Yeah.
matter. And it makes you be like, oh, fuck, all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And
I'm supposed to have these thoughts.
Yeah.
It's normal.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
human.
like I'm a human. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was dope. Like, I didn't know that you did all that in therapy and stuff.
I mean, you're very regimented too when it comes to prep. So like even for that, I mean, he's a calm person, man. Like
Yeah.
even
I can tell.
I'm someone who stresses out, man.
Yeah.
So he'll always come up to me. He's like, bro, just breathe. And he'd be like, so I mean, he used to always send me all these like meditation things. He would do these breathing exercises, podcasts, every single thing. He gets into a Zen almost like state when it's prep. And I mean, there's so much things he's taught. Like I always look at it like I was always the youngest kid, and it was just like Chris came along, and now he's like 20,
Yeah.
like he's younger than me, and he comes by and like he always teaches me something new, like every single day or every single prep, whatever it is, of what he's learned, just to kind of like keep his like mind level headed and
Yeah.
everything. I mean that's super important, like that he's helped me try to figure some of those things out.
That's dope.
But man, he always has something new.
Yeah.
Always has something
I'm
new.
obsessed with mindset.
Yeah.
Like,
Always.
I don't like research or do much shit, but like I read and I listen to audiobooks, and it's all mindset. Like,
Yeah.
Stoic philosophy, like the ways to like be normal, like vulnerability, like any kind of shit that goes on in your mind that people like struggle with
Yeah.
or can be better at. It's stuff I like love. I'm fascinated by it, and I think, and I've always believed that like people like the fact that people like Tom Brady, Michael Jordan exist because of their minds, not because of their
Yeah.
bodies. You know,
That's why this is like one of my favorite episodes, because like most of the people we have on, like they're great and stuff, but like in my opinion, and I don't really watch bodybuilding, but like you're literally like that level in your own regard. Like you're like the Tom Brady, the Jordan of bodybuilding. And being able to ask, like it's like being able to ask them is like basically what I just asked you, because like that's you in your sport. So it was like hearing that was like, damn, that's dope, because I know someone's gonna appreciate that.
But he's even someone that's too, like he'll talk to me. I'll ask him like what type of therapist, even for, like I'll ask like what therapist he's going to, and like he'll start breaking it down. All right, well, what kind are you looking for? He'll have like 5 different ones, or like he goes like, I mean, he calls it hippie type.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he likes to go to. But then there's
Yeah.
ones that are like serious, sit down, and he knows it all.
Yeah.
He knows it all.
I'm a fan of the spirituality.
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah.
Really?
I love that shit. Yeah.
So when I was looking for my therapist, it took me a long time to commit, because I've always thought therapy was for like crazy people. You always think that.
That's like
Yeah.
the
So,
worst stigma that's out there.
Bro,
Yeah.
the day I went, I reached like a level where like I was like, bro, I cannot continue to like deal with these thoughts by myself. Like I just can't anymore. And I had insurance, but I didn't even care to like sign up for it, because I was so desperate for it that I just paid out of pocket for it. And I was like, I need to talk to you. Like I just walked into like a random like anxiety or stress disorder therapist, and till this day she's like my same therapist. But like I just couldn't. I remember I was like, man, I have to go find someone to talk to about this. And I just like pulled up random ass place in like my neighborhood at the time, walked inside, and I was like, hey, do you have any openings? Like, I'm here, like take me. Sat down, and ever since then she's more of like she's not spiritual. She's just like I guess you could say hippie. Just like life and like the world and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like a lot of therapists probably are.
yeah.
But even for him, he's like the one that always tell me, like, even if the first one doesn't work, he goes like, bro, you can go through like 10 of them. He's like, just because the first one doesn't work doesn't mean you can't try somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, my mom is a social worker, so in a sense, it's similar shit. And I always hear her say shit like, that's a big reason why I was comfortable to go something like that, or thought to, because she does that stuff with people. But she's always told me that the average person goes to 6 or 7 different therapists before finding one they like.
Wow.
And so many people that struggle to even make the choice to go to one, they finally are like, fine, I'll try it. And they go and they're like, I don't like them.
And
it's
then
not
it's
for me.
just like, yeah.
Therapy's not for me. It doesn't work. And it's like, no, you gotta like, first of all, you gotta try and like actually be comfortable to open up to someone if you're not at the point of being ready to, and knowing that it might not be easy to find the right person for you.
I feel like when you open up, for me, it was hard for me to leave the one person I went to, because after I opened up completely to her, I guess because of the state of mind I was at, when I opened up completely to her, I was like, bro, I can't leave you. So like when she actually moved to like 45 minutes further from where she was from my house. It already took a long time to get to her, but she moved 45 extra minutes, and I still go to see her. Like, and she's like in Tomball, like that's like North Houston. And I was like, bro, I can't like leave you, because like I've already opened up about my entire life to you. Like you're with me until you die, like, or unless you retire. Yeah, no, that's crazy.
How many did you go through? Well, so you had one in Canada, and then now you have another one.
Yeah, well, I saw one over like Zoom for a while during COVID and everything, but I wanted to have someone where I saw in person. So when I moved to Florida, I started looking around for someone, and it was the first person I found in Florida who I clicked with. But I researched it for a while, looking at people's bios and like reviews and whatever, all this shit. And this girl had a very like hippie looking like spirituality, all this kind of stuff on her website, and like I ran with it.
Yeah, she was the match.
Yeah. And then what about you, Matty? How many did you go through?
Honestly, I'm still looking for it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've like reached out to a couple different ones, and like, I think he's the one that's made me realize like that I needed one.
Yeah, you actually needed it.
You know, because like I'm someone who like I'll just get pent up stuff in my head.
I feel that.
And then like I'll just let it out one day.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am.
Like there's certain things like he'll be like, bro, like it ain't that serious. Like, you know, he's like, just turn it to a joke in your head, you know, do something like that.
He comes in my office like, this motherfucker texted me this.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's okay.
But it's something I'm still trying to figure out, honestly. But me personally, I probably wouldn't even have thought to if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
That's dope.
You know?
No, I feel the same way. I think, I mean, I don't have one, but I mean, I might get one day. Because I'm only 24, man. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know like when you should really start.
I mean, it's a choice. If you want it, if you want to take a step to try and work on shit. And for sure, like, I was super chill my whole life. And I still am very, like, mellow dude. But, like, when I turned, like, 25, 26, and, like, a little, like, I'm still young, but getting a little older, and life is a little more real, a little more heavy responsibility. I was like, fuck, this shit's heavy. Like, there's a lot.
Yeah, I feel that.
Responsibilities of employees, responsibilities of other people's like lives and shit like that. That shit will get you. It starts killing you. But yeah, I don't know. That was a good therapy. Like,
yeah, it was a little clip.
For sure.
Nice little therapy clip. Therapy clip for the boys.
I just want to ask. I want to know, what do you do in your free time? Like, what do you do in your free time? Like, what are your hobbies outside of lifting weights and just fitness?
Oh man,
That's it.
that's hard, man. Like, I mean, if I'm not at the office, I'm at the gym. If I'm not at the gym, I'm usually home, either hanging with my girl or working on something. It's something like she'll let me know, obviously. Like, you know, you need to find something like something else like that. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I'd probably just work all day, honestly.
Damn. Okay. It's interesting. So you're one of those. I know your type.
Yeah. One of those is crazy.
Yeah.
One of those. I feel like a lot of people are like, when stuff's growing so quick, like everything right now is like so much new shit. You're like, you feel like you have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And eventually you're like, okay, the rest of my life is probably going to be like this. I need to separate a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is what I'm trying to learn is that it's okay to like pass things off. Like that's the hardest thing. Like for me, is just like, because like it happens one time, you pass it off to somebody, it doesn't get done right, and then you're like, oh, I should have just done it myself. Yeah. But I mean, that's probably the hardest thing to figure out.
Yeah. So what you said about like, you get to a point where you start realizing, okay, if I don't find something else to do, my life is gonna be like this forever. I feel like I'm at that point now. I've been doing some random ass shit, man. I've been running. I've been playing basketball again. I've been doing some weird ass shit. Traveling more. Just like, I'm still like business based, but like, I feel like I've seen people who have kind of just like driven themselves into the ground by just being so consumed with one thing. And I like you said, like I've realized, okay, if I don't try and like separate myself from these things and kind of find my own hobbies to like do to kind of take my mind off of these things, it's gonna stress me out even more, and my life is gonna be like this forever. So like, yeah, the running, every now and then I play video games, go out and hang out with my friends, basketball. Running has been like the biggest.
Have you found it to help you a lot? Just like,
Running?
no, like just doing all that, has it helped like your work-life balance? Like,
hell yeah, because when I'm ready, like when I'm done doing that shit, I'm so ready to work. I'm so ready to like tap back in and just do fun, like to like get shit done, get work done. If I didn't, I feel like if I weren't doing these things, I'd be exhausted, and I wouldn't be performing at my, I guess my optimal, like, I guess, level. I don't know, but no, the extracurricular activities have helped so much. That's why I wanted to know like what y'all do. Like, what do you do outside of the fitness world?
Since we moved here, I've honestly been a bit on the same.
Yeah,
it's just like go, but.
His is Naruto.
I like watching Naruto,
Okay. I mean, that's
like when I tune out some anime and shit, but I like to also just do nothing. Like sometimes I really like to be alone sometimes. And like you know, if Courtney's like ever out of, normally I'm gone all day and then she's back by the time I'm home or something. But if she's ever like gone at one point, or like I just go somewhere and I'm just alone, I'll just like sit there and just do nothing alone. I'm just like chilling, but there has to be no one even around. That might sound weird, but like there can't even be someone in like the next bedroom in the house. I gotta be in my own house or like on the beach in the middle of nowhere. Like,
bro, that photo that Raw posted of like waiting for the pop up that's him.
Man, I'm 100%. You know that those old dudes you see at the mall just like sit on the bench and just like are there, just like get away from their wife or something. That's gonna be me 100%. Just like chilling somewhere, doing nothing.
I can picture him at home at like when Courtney leaves, he's just at home on the couch. He's just like,
just sitting up straight.
No, I lie on the floor and I put my feet on the couch and I'm just like, and hopefully Poppy's beside me and I'll just pet the dog. Like,
no TV on, no nothing.
That's
just
so funny.
No.
This is life.
Pure silence.
The TV is still on the floor.
Yeah, that's dope. No, that's. I mean, everyone has their own thing.
I feel like a lot of like, especially the people that we know, like, it's tough to like. When do you really have like free time? Like,
we're always around each other, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Always.
Yeah, like.
And that's probably the biggest adjustment too. Like when you have like your own stuff, is usually then when you go out with the same people you're working with. So like no matter where you go, it's not really like free time. It becomes something you're like, all right, well, like let's talk about work.
We're always like me and Shawley, like Monday through Sunday, we pretty much are like texting all the time, or we're with each other. Yeah, and it's like. Us three are the main ones that are like at this office, so we spend like all day with each other. It's like we get here, work, whatever, work out, and then it's like next thing the next day.
Sundays are like my day where like I'll put my phone down and just kind of like, except for this weekend's been crazy, especially with the launch, and then of course you guys being in town. But Sundays are the day where like I'll put my phone down, I'll just chill outside in the backyard and just like spend time with Casey and just be present in the moment and just like not worry about anything else in life. Running, physical activities, all that stuff. I think Sundays are like my recharge day. Yeah. And then Monday through Saturday is just like I'm active doing shit with other people. But yeah, pretty much it.
Yeah, what time is it?
Yeah, it's been a long day.
I was about to say, you guys have it's 3 o'clock.
Shit. It's 3 o'clock?
Yeah, it's 3 o'clock.
We gotta get it.
Yeah.
Well, shit. We still have to do all the behind the scenes shit, or like the B-roll stuff.
Yeah. Well, great episode, guys. Thank you guys for coming on and making time, because obviously you are busy. And so I really appreciate it. It was a great episode, and I appreciate everything that we accomplished this weekend, and look forward to many more pop-ups and just hanging with you guys, because I really do like love your team, and y'all kind of just remind me of like a lot of our team. So it's dope. Like it doesn't feel like two other companies. Like when we get together, it's like it's just the boys. It's like a squad. Yeah,
squad for sure.
I was literally gonna say that. I feel like the boys.
Yeah,
for real. Yeah. No, we appreciate you guys having us on the podcast.
Yeah,
helping us with the event, doing all this shit. It's been a good time. First of many.
Yeah, many more to come, man. I'm excited for Florida. I'm excited for it. I was gonna ask you, do you think Florida is your home forever?
I don't know.
Dom was saying he's like, nah, probably not. Like he's like maybe. But
Dom wants a second home. Yeah, for sure. You know, Florida, like we have a great family there. Yeah. Like, our community is awesome, but Florida as a whole, it's like it's Florida. Yeah, it's Florida man. You know.
Yeah,
like,
Florida
it gets
man.
a little wild out there. Just it doesn't really. And I'm from Canada, which is like polar opposite.
Yeah,
Canada is like the Midwest, I guess. You know, like a nice Midwest city.
Florida doesn't have like home vibes.
Yeah,
vacation
it really
vibes.
doesn't.
It's just like you feel like it's like you're a town away from a vacation spot. You know.
Yeah.
It's so hot.
Yeah.
Always.
No, I feel that.
But we'll see.
Well, whenever y'all want to move to Houston, like we'll set it up. We'll set it up.
Maybe we all just need to like buy a farm in Montana.
No, just the new Wyoming, like Kanye, just everyone. Like,
Yellowstone, bro. I'm down. Let's do it.
City.
Oh man. All right. So, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We're out. Go.
Let's go.
Oh, man. How long was that? Wait, 7 minutes.